All right, let's dive right in. We're going to talk about something that's, frankly, becoming more and more critical every single day. What happens when artificial intelligence crashes into our deepest human values?
I mean, you see it everywhere, right? AI is this unstoppable force, promising to fix everything. But there's also this little voice in the back of our heads, isn't there? A kind of anxiety about where this is all going. We're talking about biased algorithms, a missing moral compass, and this fear that we might be building a future that's, well, a lot less human.
So what's the fix? Is it just a better algorithm, more processing power? Nope. The big idea we're unpacking today is that the key to guiding AI isn't out there in the tech. It's in here. It's about tapping into a better, deeper kind of human intelligence.
And that's where we get to the heart of it, something called spiritual intelligence, or SQ for short. Now think of it like this. It's your internal GPS for what's right and wrong. It's that built-in moral compass that helps us put people, not just profits, at the center of what we do. It's the why behind the what.
Okay, so spiritual intelligence. It sounds a bit abstract, right? How does it actually help us build better AI in the real world? Well, it turns out there are three huge ways it can make a difference.
First up, and this one is a biggie, SQ gives us that moral compass. It's the ethical framework we desperately need to steer the ship as we build these incredibly powerful AI systems. And here's what's really cool about this. It's not just about playing defense, you know? It's not about waiting for a biased algorithm to mess up and then trying to fix it. This is about being proactive. It's about designing fairness and equity right into the system from day one. It's about demanding transparency, knowing why an AI did what it did. Because, let's face it, without that, there's no way we're ever going to truly trust this technology.
All right, benefit number 2. This is all about putting people back in the picture. SQ demands a human-centric approach, making sure we remember that technology is supposed to serve us, not the other way around.
So this is a vision where AI is our collaborator, not our replacement. It's about creating a real partnership. You let the AI handle the boring, repetitive stuff so that we humans can double down on what we do best: creativity, critical thinking, empathy. And when you do that, you get a workplace that actually boosts well-being instead of creating this cold, isolated environment where everyone's just staring at a screen.
And that leads us perfectly into the third big benefit. Look, AI is amazing at figuring out how to do things, but it has no idea why it should do them. That's where SQ comes in. It provides that missing piece, a real, deep sense of purpose.
And when you lead with purpose, it changes everything. Suddenly, the question isn't just, hey, can we build this cool new thing? The question becomes, should we build it? What good will it do? We're talking about leaders who use AI to take on the huge long-term challenges, things like climate change or social inequity. They're connecting all this incredible tech power to a mission that's bigger than the next quarterly report.
Okay, so this all sounds amazing in theory. A moral compass, a human-centered approach, a deep sense of purpose. Sign me up. But let's be real for a second. Trying to plug something as, well, squishy as spiritual intelligence into the cold, hard, data-driven world of tech? Yeah, that's not going to be easy. There's some serious challenges. And at the core of it, you've got this fundamental clash. AI thinks in numbers. It's all about data, logic, efficiency, zeros and ones. But SQ, that's all about values, meaning, purpose, things you can't really measure in a spreadsheet. And trying to get those two different languages to talk to each other, that's the whole ballgame right there.
And those hurdles are no joke. I mean, think about it. Conceptually, how do you even begin to code purpose into an algorithm? Ethically, you have the famous black box problem. You know, when an AI rejects your loan application, but no one can tell you exactly why. Then you've got cultural issues, operational headaches. It's a huge, huge undertaking for any company. So how do you actually do this? Well, the idea is to shake up the old, rigid corporate structures. We're talking about creating things like AI governance boards that include ethicists and sociologists, not just engineers, or setting up agile teams of teams that are all united by a common purpose. Some are even rethinking the entire org chart to prioritize human-centric work. The key is to bake these values in from the very start, not just slap them on at the end like an afterthought.
But, you know, this isn't just about what big companies do. This really brings it back to us, to the individual. The idea here is simple but powerful. If we want to build better, more mindful systems, it has to start with us building better, more mindful selves. It's a personal journey first.
And look, that personal journey isn't a walk in the park either. We all know the internal battles, right? That nonstop chatter in our heads, the ego, the fear of failure. And then you've got the outside world, which is just go, go, go. It's all about speed and stuff, which makes it incredibly hard to find the time and space for any kind of deep inner work.
But the good news is, there are real, practical things you can do. And this isn't about needing to go live in a monastery. It's about integrating these practices into your daily life. It could be as simple as writing a personal mission statement to keep you grounded, or taking what some call holy pauses, literally just taking 3 deep breaths before you fire off that angry email. It's about shifting your mindset, seeing challenges as opportunities to learn, and finding meaning in the small things.
Because ultimately that's the real goal, isn't it? To stop living these two separate lives, our work life and our real life. The aim is to merge them into one integrated life, where your career and your goals aren't something separate from your inner growth. They're actually the main stage where that growth happens. Which brings us to this final, powerful idea that really sums it all up. This isn't a choice between worldly success and spiritual development. It's a process of integration. It's about weaving them together. Because as we race ahead to build the future of artificial intelligence, we absolutely cannot afford to leave behind the wisdom of the human spirit.